I don't know.
We
Wait, what
turned it all the
happened?
way up. We make it super beautiful. Is that any better?
To 11. All right, that's enough of that.
There's
That was
there's so much to cover. We don't have time.
no, but hey, everybody! Thank you for no one showing up yet. No, I'm kidding. Thank you, everybody, for coming
Finding
in
the geek spot.
to find the Geek Spot. Now that the Facebook page is reconnected and the YouTube page is connected,
My
and they
picture's
changed
beautified. Your picture's beautified.
where do you beautify at? I don't know how to beautify.
It's in the settings under
All
the
right.
camera.
Oh, I don't have that. I don't have that
Mm.
option.
I don't know that it makes a difference. I'm just out
No.
or with. It seems like it doesn't change it. So that's
Well,
fine.
I just want to welcome everybody in on this, the greatest of holidays every year until the year 2035. It is my favorite holiday because F the Mets. It is Bobby Bonilla Day.
It is. It's a wonderful day if you
It is,
are in the National League.
it is a
East.
wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. If you have no idea what the Bobby Bonilla Day phenomena is, I will tell you that today, July 1st, 61-year-old Bobby Bonilla collects a $1.19 million check from the New York Mets, as he has and he will every day from
Every year.
July 1st from 2011 to 2035. 3 years after the Bryce Harper contract in Philadelphia expires, Bobby Bonilla is still going to be collecting $1.193 million.
Well, I think it changes every year, right? Because it's got an 8% interest.
It might. So what happened was in 2000 the Mets agreed to buy out the remaining $5.9 million of his contract. So he had $5.9 million remaining in the year 2000. So instead of giving him that money at that time, they decided to make annual payments of nearly $1.2 million for 25 years, starting in 2011, at a negotiated 8% interest rate. And that was, at the time, the Mets were, their ownership was invested in a Bernie Madoff account that promised double-digit returns. And we all know how those things worked out.
Yep.
So he had $5.9 million left. So they decided to defer the money for 25 years at $1.2 million, which is now up to $1.19 million every year for 25 years.
Yep.
So instead of giving him the $5.9 million, they're giving him almost 25, 30 million over the course of his life.
Yep. 5 times that.
It is insane. So every year, the entirety of the United States celebrates.
It's great. Just to also point out that Bobby Bonilla also gets $500,000 a year from the Orioles.
Who does?
2029.
Who does?
Bobby Bonilla. He also has a deferred contract from the Baltimore Orioles that started in 2004.
Jesus.
That paid for 25 years and pays him $500,000 a year.
What's good is when the Bobby Bonilla Day ends, we can just pick right up on Shohei Ohtani Day.
Yeah.
But before I get into more sports stuff, because we have just tiny little bit of sports at the beginning, we weren't around last week to recap the greatest Star Wars show in television, and I have numbers to back that up. So, oh yeah. So how is your week off?
Couple weeks, yeah, it was great, man. I was down in the Dominican Republic for the week, swimming with dolphins and playing with monkeys and riding horses and all sorts of cool stuff. So the family and I all had a great time. One of my kids learned that the sun always wins, so that was cool.
The sun, like
the sun
with the sky?
with the U and the big shiny thing.
Yeah,
learned that is not a battle to take lightly. So he's now has gone through that experience that any fair-skinned people have gone through at least once or twice.
Yeah.
I actually, Dom's asking if I drank El Presidente. I actually sent Frank a picture of El Presidente from the van from the airport to the
She did.
resort, and he's like, "What is that?" I was like, "I have no idea. Apparently, it's Dominican beer."
And was it good?
It was just fine. Not a big beer guy, so it tasted remarkably like beer. But it was good. It gave me time to watch a bunch of stuff because I had some flights to watch some movies.
Did you watch anything like What's Over My Shoulder? Oh,
I watched a couple episodes of that too. Not on the flight. I had other priorities on the flight.
is it disconcerting to see him staring over my shoulder?
No,
Okay, good.
no. It'll be when you watch this back, as I know you always do, to analyze
I
our
will.
episodes.
Absolutely, every
You
time.
want to
Every single
see
one.
if Michael Scott is staring you down or not.
Dom, I feel the same way about Miller Lite. Miller Lite actually gets really, really good the more you drink it in one sitting.
Yeah, I just don't like being full.
Nah,
So,
I
like, I can't, I don't do the beer thing, and considering we had my 4-year-old hooked on pina coladas and strawberry daiquiris and what else was she drinking? Oh, Blue Hawaiians, whatever she could get that she
saw
felt
the
like a big kid. She was good.
she was adorable.
Yeah. So it was good, but yeah, I watched a bunch of stuff that I was behind on, movie wise. Caught up on some things. Watched the Gene Wilder documentary that they dropped on Netflix, which was actually fascinating.
Really?
Yeah, it was great.
Oh, I'll stop Beverly Hills Cop 2 and watch that next.
Yeah, that one was really good. I watched Immaculate.
What's
It's
that?
a Sydney Sweeney. My friend's brother-in-law wrote the movie.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, I've known the guy for, I don't know, 20 years now.
That's awesome.
But he's been out in Hollywood, decided he wanted to go be a screenwriter. He's been working on it, this and that. It was actually passed over. Then Sydney Sweeney read it and was like, "We're making this movie,"
Oh,
and made
yeah.
it. So it's kind of it's tough to give away, to go through it without giving spoilers, but it's a horror-ish movie. It's about an American nun that takes on a spot in a convent in Italy, and how that goes for her is not great. That's all I'll say, but it's a really cool kind of concept, and pulls thing into current time frame and everything like that. So they're like modernizes a lot of the stories that we got back in the 60s and 70s about the church and things like that. So it was pretty good. She's great in it. But yeah, it was well done. A lot of subtitles, but
I know they're your favorite.
yeah, well, I was on a plane, so it was fine because I can't multitask. So that's why I was like, let me watch this on a plane. I have Shogun that I keep trying to watch on flights, but I'll save that whole series to when I fly to India in a couple months.
Me too.
I caught that. Dune 2 was too long for me to watch on the plane.
Really?
I couldn't finish the damn movie on the plane. It's so long.
Could you finish it when you got off the plane?
I did. I had like 20 minutes left. It's fine.
Okay.
There's a reason that it was like, oh my God, it's gorgeous and it's big and it's such a huge story, because it's just freaking so long.
Yeah.
It's like 3 movies crammed into one.
I just never got into the original. I tried when I was younger. I just couldn't.
But look, I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. I think the kid's great. Rebecca Ferguson, what's his name? I don't even remember his name now.
Chalamet?
Timothy Chalamet. Yep, him. Rebecca Ferguson's great in it.
Love
Like,
her.
Javier Bardem's great. Like, everybody's great in it. Zendaya's not intolerable, which is cool.
I love Rebecca Ferguson so much. I'm actually going to watch Silo one day.
Dude, Silo is so good.
I
Season
know.
2 is like soon.
I know. That one I'll get caught up on.
Well, that and Severance, you need to. There's Apple TV stuff to watch,
I think I may lean into the Apple TV stuff a little bit more.
because Severance is also coming back soonish.
Right.
But yeah, so I watched all that stuff. While I was out, there was the Doctor Who finale too. I'll hit that in a little bit.
Nice.
Wrapped up the season. But what about you, man? What have you been up to?
Nothing. Like literally nothing. Excuse me. We had a birthday party for our mutual friend Ray over at our mutual friend Matt's house.
Hi, Matt.
Little 50th birthday thing that his wife and we helped put together to kind of surprise him. Had a bunch of friends show up. I'm sure you saw the pictures.
Yeah, it's funny you were making fun of him being 50 since he's only 30.
Yeah, well,
Those rock stars never age, so it's kind of exciting for him.
I was also told that the group picture of all of us men in the pool looked like a promo for Fire Island. It was wonderful. Yeah, wonderful. I did put something on my Amazon playlist that I have to actually rent. So A friend of mine, it's funny, I met him playing Call of Duty. He lives
Yeah.
down in Ridley, and his name is Dennis Jeanette. I think
Mm,
I'm saying his last name right.
probably
And
not.
he probably not. But I met him and his brother and a bunch of guys, and we played Call of Duty together, and then we kind of hung out a few times, and I played hockey against Dennis. My team beat Dennis's team. I scored a hat trick that game, not bragging or anything. Dennis is really, really good at deck hockey too.
Nice.
But he went and he wanted to try become an actor. And him and his friends put together a little independent film. It's on Netflix. Or, I'm sorry, it's on Amazon Prime. You can buy it. It's called Another Man's Trash. It's like
Cool.
$2.99. Looks really good. Looks really interesting. It's all shot locally in Philly. Dennis has no idea that I'm even talking about it. I just happened. I saw his post a couple weeks ago, and I finally got around to like getting it in my Amazon thing. That's probably the next thing I'm going to watch.
Nice. We'll have to post that so we can drive
Yeah,
up some traffic for him.
yeah. So other than that, I just honestly, we did the pool thing. I was in the pool for 6 hours, I think.
Oh,
Uh, got home at 8:30, was asleep at 8:45, and slept until almost 8:30 the next morning.
yeah. I was in pool for like 6 days straight and was
Yeah,
up at like 6 a.m. every day.
couldn't do that now. Um, it was fun because the storm rolled in. We got a really bad storm for like a half an hour.
Yeah.
We got all the electronic stuff in, and I was standing in his house soaking wet, and I'm like, well, what the hell? I'm already wet. I ran back out, jumped in the pool.
There you go.
Yeah. It was a fun time. No, it was good. It was a nice weekend. Can't really drink a lot anymore. The Ozempic is curbing
It's
the
good.
beer. Yeah, it's not bad.
That's the real trick. That's how it makes you lose the weight. To
Yeah,
stop drinking beer. That's really all it does.
I think I'm gonna go out Friday night and get a beer. Not sure where yet.
It's exciting for you. I'll
Yeah,
be downtown, so nowhere convenient.
no, you're at the.
Saturday, I'm in Ben Salem.
Are you?
I
Where in
am.
Salem?
I'm in Dockside from 6 to 9 on Saturday.
That cuts possibilities. Matt's
Just yesterday, I was at Odd Logic in Bristol playing for a benefit
I saw
for
that.
my friend Nick, who did all my tattoo work. He just had a heart attack a couple weeks ago, so I was playing at a benefit that the crew put together for him there. Great turnout. Overall, really, really, really fun event too.
Before we get into the other stuff, Dom saw Quiet Place. He did a little review on that. If you want to kind of go over to his channel, the Ace, DA Ace Avenue. He said it was a okay movie, great performances, subpar plot. That was one of the horror movies that I actually wouldn't have minded seeing, even though I'm not a big horror guy.
It's not really a horror movie though. It's just thriller. It's
Thriller.
different. It's
Okay.
different. It's a sci-fi thriller. Like it's not a horror. It's like Signs-ish.
Okay. That one I might pop on.
Yeah, the
Charles.
first one's really good. The second one is they're both streaming on one of them now because
Yeah.
they popped up the other day and were like, "Hey, you should watch these two." And I'm like, "I should go watch the second one." You're right. So that's next on my list probably for this week sometime.
And Charles is pointing out that Hint Monkey season 2 is coming back on July 15th.
Yeah, there's a trailer dropped. I didn't get a chance to catch it yet. There's another trailer that just came out today that I got to watch, but I didn't want it Hit Monkey yet because I'm also catching up on Orphan Black. Echoes is just started up too, which I'm episode behind, but I watched the premiere with Kristen Ritter.
Okay.
Ties back to the original Orphan Black series, which I will still attest to is one of the best sci-fi series of all time.
Interesting.
On TV, which was the one that made Tatiana Maslany a big name and won her an Emmy.
Gotcha.
But similar, it's the same universe. It seems like they give some hints to that in this episode, which is pretty cool. That it's all going to tie back together. But I'm really excited for that show, and that's one episode in so far.
What was I gonna say? So real quick to jump back over to sports stuff, which we don't normally talk a lot of sports. Sometimes I'll throw some wrestling stuff in there. Which, by the way, just as a side note, Friday Night SmackDown has the Bloodline storyline. I mentioned it before. It's usually Roman Reigns and his cousins, but now the Bloodline has changed. Roman Reigns lost at WrestleMania 40 and went away, and it's now his. It's a different. It's a different incarnation of the Bloodline. Paul Heyman, who I'm sure you're aware of who he is.
Yeah, he was Roman's manager.
He was the wise man.
Sure.
Wise at 58 years old,
Hmm.
is so committed to what he's doing. On Friday night's show, he stayed up for 24 hours to keep the disheveled look going. His eyes were real red and bloodshot. Like he looked like a little bit of a 5 o'clock shadow going on for the angle that he's going through with them. He let them put him through the announce table at 58 years old. Big up power
Wow.
bomb through the announce tables. Great. Like that's dedication. Staying up for 24 hours before the show, like leading up to the show, just to make yourself look that uncomfortable and disheveled.
Probably how he managed to not care that he got thrown through a table, is my guess.
Probably did not hurt him. So real fast before we get into the other bits of news I have, the top 10 worst contracts. And I don't know how far back this goes because there's no date on it. But I'll run through these real fast. Number 10 is Jay Cutler, quarterback of the Chicago Bears. In 2013, signed a 7-year, $126.7 million contract. He went 51-51 with 18 interceptions in 2014, and he was cut in 2017.
Also, reality star now.
Yeah.
So yeah, busy man.
Busy man. Number 9 is Barry Zito. Giants signed him to a 7-year, $126 million contract in 2006. He went 102-63 with Oakland. 8 years in Oakland, he went 63-80 with a 4.62 ERA and 1 winning season for the Giants, even though he did win a ring in 2012.
Yeah, I remember him.
I remember him too. Number 8 is the Houston Texans signed Brock Osweiler to a 4-year, $72 million deal in 2016.
Wasn't he? He was not. Was he affiliate at some point?
He was not. I don't think. Maybe he was. But yeah, no, that was a bad contract for them. Number 7 in 2010, Carl Crawford signed a 7-year deal with the Boston Red Sox worth $142 million. In 2012, he appeared in 31 games, was dealt to the Dodgers, and just was released in 2016 from the Dodgers with $34.6 million on his contract.
Wow.
Yeah. Number 7, Albert Hainsworth. The Redskins signed him in 2009 to a 7-year, $100 million deal. He recorded 6.5 sacks with 53 tackles. In his last year with the Titans, he had 51 tackles, 8.5 sacks, and had a $41 million guarantee. He was out of the NFL in 2011.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
Incredible. Number 5, Chris Davis from the Baltimore Orioles in 2016 signed a 7-year, $161 million contract. It did not pay out for them. He failed to hit above 200, struck out 331 times. He had 55 hits, and from September 2018 to April 2019, he set a major league record by going 54 at-bats without a hit.
Oh, that's
your
impressive.
Baltimore Orioles.
Yeah, look at them now.
Yeah, they're one of the best teams in the league.
Yeah.
Number 4, Gilbert Arenas. 2008, the Washington Wizards, formerly the Washington Bullets. We're not allowed to say that anymore. Signed him to a 6-year, $111 million deal. He appeared in 51 games from 2008 to 2010. Dealt to the Magic midway through the 10 season. During 2010 to 11, he shot 36.6% from the field, ranking him last in the NBA if he had enough shots to qualify. He was suspended. He was suspended during the 2010 season for bringing guns to the Wizards locker room.
Oh, that's great. That's a good move.
Rick DiPietro, this one I remember. This was in 2006, New York Islanders signed goalie Rick DiPietro to a 15-year, $67.5 million contract. It just was not good. He was cut in 2013. And actually, his contract is almost as bad as Bobby Bonilla's. he will be paid 1.5 million through 2029 not to play hockey.
Can you do any better than that? Like that's
Impressive.
really right.
Number 2, Jamarcus Russell from
Oh yeah.
yeah, he signed a 6-year, $68 million deal in 2007, 32 guaranteed, richest rookie deal in NFL history. I believe after that they started putting rookie contracts in, right?
Yes.
Wasn't too long after that. Oh no, Sam Bradford was the last one, I
Yes,
believe.
that sounds right. Yeah,
Yeah.
because he made a minute to go into the Rams.
Yeah. In 3 seasons with Oakland, Russell was able to record 7 wins and 4,083 passing yards. And the number 1 worst deal of all time is not Frank's contract with the Rockets, because Frank never actually signed a contract, Matt. It was a pay under the table when Dave felt like giving us money.
I have one of those
Yeah.
contracts. Probably in a drawer somewhere still.
It is the Bobby Bonilla contract. So,
It's fair. But which one? They're both
uh,
pretty bad.
yeah, the new one. Well, it's funny. Max Scherzer is a very good pitcher,
Yeah.
injured a lot. This year, he's going to get $15 million from Washington Nationals for part of his contract with them, $30 million from the Mets, and he was traded to the Texas Rangers, who owe him $12 million all this year.
Get it. Like, good for him. But yeah, you're right. If he could stay healthy for a full season, he'd be a beast again.
He would be. Jack chiming in with the Acolyte is like Endor horrible. Endor Jack is the moon where the little Weeble Wobbles were. What the fuck are they called again? Ewoks. Yeah. I think he meant
The
Andor.
Weeble Wobbles. Wow.
The little Weeble Wobbles. I think he meant Andor.
Yes.
We're going to get to that.
Maybe he meant both. We don't know.
Before I go into the newsy stuff, give me your what you watched and where are you with The Office?
Oh, well, before I hit The Office, I'll hit the Doctor Who finale.
Do the Doctor Who stuff.
Which was like the kid playing the Doctor keeps getting better and better.
Yeah.
They wrapped up the season really well, and they kept some storylines going, which is not totally common for them to carry stuff over season to season. It's usually a fairly clean slate, and maybe that's because they didn't always know if they were getting renewed back in the day. But typically it was like, hey, we're done this and this storyline, and then we'll see what happens next season. We'll kick something new off. But this one set up a lot of Easter eggs that are going to carry on into the next season. This character, Mrs. Flood, that took a really dark turn in the second to last episode, and then the last episode she does like a teaser at the end for what's still to come based on the 60th anniversary specials. But it was a fantastic finale. The girl playing Ruby Sunday, it looks like she might not be around next season very much, but I know there's been some shots of her on set. Looks like she's not going to be the companion going forward, but there might be like a couple flashbacks or something to her. But she did a great job. This was an episode another one that was really dug into the two of them and their characters and got everything going, resolved the bigger arc for the season, set up a lot of things, and kind of tied back to stuff that's been over the last like 15 years of the show, which is kind of cool. Yeah, it's handy to have the same kind of showrunner like weave in and out and come back and write things. And one of the things they're brilliant at with Doctor Who is the people that run the show are typically like historians of it. So they know how to tie things back. Like the big bad this season was from the fourth Doctor back in like 1971 or something like that. Like the story that he was originally introduced in. So they pulled all the way back to that. So kind of cool stuff with that. But again, since that's your back to me, I don't want to give too many spoilers. That weren't already in the news, and you probably won't remember anything I just said anyway because I know you weren't half listening. So that's fine.
I was listening to it. I heard you talking about the historians that run the show and lots of callback. I hear you.
And
I hear you.
And then The Office. I think I watched some before vacation. I don't remember.
You said you were a couple into the second season.
Yeah, I watched the Halloween episode because you asked about that one, right?
Halloween was one of them.
I did watch that.
What costume did Jim have in this one? His costumes are great on when they do the Halloween episode. Was he 3-punch hole Jim this time?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I watched, and then I just made it through the episode with, I forget which one it is, with the intern, and he gets the stuff from Michael that he keeps calling him, and Jim and Pam are starting to heat up a little bit, but not sure. So there's finally actually movement in that storyline. So that's nice.
It's at the fire, right?
Ye- no, I was past the fire.
It was okay.
But yeah, this was a good one. I got to remember which one it was now because
Was it the
now
one where did he burn his foot?
I was not prepared for
I
my
know.
office chat, unfortunately. But hold on, it was, and I'm sure Chris is super mad at me right now.
Nobody
Who
needs to
hassles me
find
all the time about the office stuff. Oh, it was the fight. That's what it was.
which fight?
The fight between Michael and Dwight.
Oh, where they go to the dojo.
Yeah, that's the one that I want to watch. Yeah, Halloween and then that one. I didn't want to get too far ahead from the last time, so I didn't watch a ton.
Right.
It's just 2 more episodes this season that I caught up on because I knew it was going to be a while, so I wanted to remember
Right.
which I was talking about. But yeah, the martial arts fights and so like that was great. It's still tough for me. Like
I get it.
the cringe humor. I just can't. It's not my thing.
It's a lot of
But I'm
cringe.
pushing through it to enjoy the characters enough that I get over the cringe humor and just make it through and enjoy the show.
I appreciate that. And they do so many little callbacks to so many little things.
Yeah, I'm hoping I picked those up as I go. I almost forgot though. I also went and saw Inside Out 2
Oh, how's
last
that?
week. It's fantastic.
Yeah?
So good.
Okay.
Like recommend to all ages. If you watched Inside Out 1, go see Inside Out 2. It's the next step in it, and it will pull you right back into being a teenager. Because it's Riley growing up, and then all of her emotions are now like there's anxiety and embarrassment and
Oh.
envy and ennui, which is like the angsty emo teen. Like all of those different emotions are now the ones running everything.
Gotcha.
So it's really neat watching that change in her, and you're like, oh yeah, I remember those years. But it insanely well done. Maya Hawke is brilliant. Is anxiety, and not you wouldn't think it's Maya Hawke at all. For everybody else that has watched Stranger Things besides Frank, or other Maya Hawke jaunts that are out there.
There's 1 or 2 people.
Yeah.
Do you remember the Highlander reboot that was going to happen?
Yeah,
With Henry Cavill?
it's they're working that into Warhammer, right?
No. Director Chad Stahelski did the John Wick movies.
Mm-hmm.
He's heading to Scotland next week to finish some scouting locations, filming in January.
Great, let's do it.
This is going to come out before Blade.
That's fine. Let's do it before Henry Cavill is the Sean Connery character.
I just want him to have a win. None of his movies are wins.
No, let's get the guy some stuff before he's too old for us to enjoy it. No, I mean he had The Witcher, and Witcher's not a movie, so I'll give you that though.
No.
And we'll see. Look, it might get a huge boost with Liam coming in.
It's possible. Where else? Okay, there's no article in that, huh? It was there, now it's gone. All right, that's cool.
Speaking of Maya Hawke and Stranger Things, while you're looking that up,
Yes.
she recent in the news for her, she said the final season is taking so long to shoot because it's basically going to be 8 full-length movies.
Nice.
No,
I kind of got a shot at catching up.
Dear God. I mean, look, they're not done yet. The last season came out, I want to say in 2020, 2021, something like that.
Nice.
No, it's the last season was brutal. They put a break in it, and the last 2 episodes were 5 hours.
Wow. Real 5 hours?
Yeah, it was like 2+ hour episodes. It was insane.
That's like watching House of the Dragon.
It's so much content to keep track of.
That's a lot.
It is. And you're like, oh, well, great, the story's over. Oh, God, they're still telling a story. Why are they still going? It's a great spot to end, but you don't keep... Great, let's go.
You enjoyed the Gargoyles, right? The cartoon?
I knew it existed.
Wow. It's going to get a live action.
No.
Yep.
Nope.
Gargoyles show live action is in development at Disney Plus with James Wan and Gary Doberman involved.
It's fine.
Generating high anticipation among fans.
It's going to be a movie?
It's going to be a show.
Oh, all right. A live action gargoyle show?
Live action gargoyle
Sounds
show.
awful.
Yeah. There's
It sounds way too expensive for what it is. Like, just make another season of the
that's all.
show. Like, that's all you got to do. Just
That's
make
all.
another season.
That's all. That had like so many Star Trek Next Generation like people in it.
Just take the money,
Right.
make
Right.
another season of the animated show, get
Right.
the viewers. It's going to be cheap. You turn it out. You're generating new content. You need to fill the hours on the streaming service. Like, just do it.
That's all.
This sounds like it's going to take 9 years to
It
make.
probably will be. It probably will.
Which by then the people that liked Gargoyles will be in their 70s.
Still will come out before Blade.
Yeah, everything will come out before Blade.
This July 3rd, not Friday. This July 3rd, there's a couple big things dropping.
What's that?
One big thing I'm excited for, and another big thing I know you're not excited for. So we'll put it that way. It is going to be one of the most expensive Netflix movies ever made. Comes out on July 3rd.
Is it another red something?
No. No red in the title.
Oh, I don't know what it is then.
It's Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh, God. Wait.
$150 million budget.
Yeah, but how much of that was paying Eddie Murphy?
Probably $100 million. And then
like, you have a problem if you're making a Beverly Hills Cop movie for $150 million. No. It's literally a dude in LA driving around.
They do have a helicopter scene.
Doesn't matter.
And Joseph Gordon-Levitt's in it.
It's literally should be a dude driving around LA cracking jokes. Like, that's all you need for a successful Beverly Hills Cop movie.
And the greatest Avenger of all time is in it.
Oh, that doesn't narrow it down.
Kevin Bacon.
Oh.
I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see it.
How is that more than Bright cost?
It's reportedly has a $150 million budget, making it one of Netflix's most expensive movies.
That is wild.
The last Beverly Hills Cop movie came out in 1994.
Yep.
No, Matt, he's not wearing the Letterman jacket. He actually fought the director who wanted him to wear the Detroit Lions jacket, and he went, "Why? It's no." Even though the Lions are actually good now, and it would kind of tie in and make sense, right? Let me talk about this.
I mean, to be fair, he's been in LA for 40 years, so I don't know if he'd necessarily still be a Detroit fan. He doesn't seem like he's loyal.
So James Gunn came from the MCU, right? James Gunn was in the MCU for quite a while, right?
Yes.
Made a couple movies there.
Yeah.
Figured he would have learned how to keep a closed set.
6 years.
Maybe keep a closed set. The amount of pictures and spoilers for the new Superman movie that are everywhere, like, I still really want to see it, and the stuff that I'm seeing, I still makes me want to see it, even with Clark's afro. You saw Clark's afro, right?
Yeah, well, that's how he's Clark and not Superman.
He
straightens his hair. He has time to just do and straighten that.
I'm okay with it. What I'm not okay with is the amount of spoilers that have. Now, on the flip side of that, I think he looks great as Superman. I really do. It's a practical cape, not like Henry Cavill's Superman was a CGI'd cape.
Yeah.
This is a practical cape, but there's scenes like being released or pictures from scenes, not actual film scenes, but pictures from scenes because they're in Cleveland shooting. So, it's like everybody with a camera's walking by going, "Hey, here's Superman."
But they know that. So, like,
sure.
He has to be allowing the stuff, like, they know how to not let it happen.
I'm sure this is.
So there has to be a reason that they're letting it happen. It's probably because there's nothing else to talk about for DC until next year, other than the Joker.
That's true.
Well,
Joker Folie à comes out in October.
That's what I said. The Joker.
Oh yeah. So they did get there's a screen grab or a picture of each person coming out of what looks to be, and I didn't know he had this, but Mr. Terrific's ship.
Yeah.
He looks great, comic book accurate. He looks Arrowverse accurate also. He's very Arrowverse accurate.
He's actually more comic book accurate than Arrowverse accurate because he doesn't have the braids.
Um, and they got it. There's a picture of Perry White with the cigar in his mouth coming out of the ship. Lois Lane, she looks great.
Yeah.
Jimmy Olsen, the cast looks great, and I think he looks really good in the outfit. I'm excited to see the movie in July of next year.
Sure. It's a long time.
It is a long time because we got July, and then we don't get Supergirl until June of 26, and then Batman's supposedly October of
Is
20.
Supergirl now the second movie?
This is the upcoming movies according to Screen Rant.
I thought there was something else in there. Maybe
I
I'm wrong.
think there is. The Green Lantern got greenlit.
That's a show, though.
TV show. Okay.
And look, that's not going to be unless there's not a lot of lanterning in it. That's not going to be a cheap show.
No, probably not. So this year, Comic-Con 2024 is going to be a banger. Marvel's coming back. There's all kinds of Fantastic Four signs all over the place out there.
Did they start filming yet? They don't even film till after that, though, right?
No, I don't believe they do.
So whatever.
Yeah, that's so the four main stars are rumored to debut their costumes, and the rest of the cast at that
whatever
that event.
You're gonna get a
It starts filming on July 29th.
You're gonna get a teaser for Agatha. You're gonna get probably your X-Men announcement. So you will probably get the announcement from whatever the fallout is from the Deadpool Wolverine movie, whatever the end credit scene is there. You will get that announcement at Comic-Con because it's the next week.
When does that come out? The Agatha show comes out
December.
Yeah. September 18th.
Sure. So we'll get a teaser for that. We'll probably get a Captain America teaser. But that's way early. But that's the next movie. So
Kevin Feige has said that the multiverse theories and the timeline theories are very smart observations. So it is going to be set in the 60s is the other rumor. And it is not going to be in our prime Earth universe. It's going to be in an alternate Earth. And the guy that's playing Galactus hopes he plays Galactus for years to come.
Whatever, just write a good fucking movie.
That's what I'm saying.
Like it's all I need, man. It's watching some of those things that I managed to watch. Like just smart writing goes so far.
The Deadpool movie that you were talking about was almost scrapped. Vanity Fair did an interview with I believe it was Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds and
Sean Levy and Hugh Jackman.
Sean Levy. It was Sean Levy, and it was Hugh Jackman that actually called Ryan Reynolds up and said he wanted to do Logan and Deadpool.
Yeah.
And that kind of saved that movie that wasn't going to happen before that, or it was going to be a completely different movie before that. I still have, as Dom does, I'm sure, a very tiny little bit of fear that I have PTSD from Doctor Strange. Okay.
Oh, it's gonna be but it brought in the Loki version, so it's gonna be fine.
Not that excited for it.
Let's just get it out, man. I'm tired of hearing about movies for 3 years before I get to see them. Like, just don't tell me about them and say, hey, this comes out in 6 months. That's where I'm at with all of these things now. Like, the anticipation is like, I don't give a shit by the time the movies come out. The only reason I'll go see that one the night that it releases is so that I can look at my phone the next day.
Yeah. That's kind of what I'm kind of worried about. Yes, Matt, you are the only person that did not hate Doctor Strange. That movie, the second one, was the most awful garbage in the world.
Yeah, to be honest, Matt, I tried rewatching it and I lost. I can usually leave the Marvel stuff on. I can even leave all the Venom movies on just in the background. That Doctor Strange 2, I'd turn it off. I'm like, this is so bad. I can't leave this on my TV.
I tried watching it last week. Actually, I was kind of like, let me see what this looks like. Thor: Love and Thunder also just a notch below bad.
No, I mean, Thor: Love and Thunder is worse than Doctor Strange.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I wouldn't even start Thor: Love and Thunder.
No, that'll never get a rewatch. I think even Thor or even Chris Hemsworth hated that movie.
Yeah,
or looks at it and goes, ugh.
Yeah, but that's fine because Taika
Um,
Waititi still thinks it's great. So
yeah, sure he does. So we have 3 shows to bounce through.
doing a
Um,
lot of episodes on both,
yeah,
on
we
all
do.
three.
Let's go with the boys first.
Tease.
Go with the
You're
boys.
such a tease.
I know. Well, I have exclusive data
Oh,
about the Acolyte, so I'm gonna wait on that. That's the home run. That's the grand slam.
got it.
That's the finale.
So the boys, we talked about the premiere, right? The 3
Uh,
episode premiere we got through.
we got the 3 we got through the sauna, yes.
Right, we did. We talked through the sauna stuff. So we had some more of the reveal of what the lobotomy stick was from Sister Sage, right? What was going on with that? We got the Huey's dad and Huey's mom popping up. We got the fallout from that. Then we got the follow up to that in this last episode, which was wild. But look, gave Simon Pegg a chance to finally be worthwhile on the show.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were just gonna leave him lay in the bed. Um, I his his arc was great.
Yeah, and it's great to finally let them see him do or see them let him do something because the original Huey in the comic books was based on Simon Pegg.
Right, right. I
Like the
remember when
drawing, the whole 9 yards. Like he
yeah,
was Simon Pegg is
right,
who they based the artwork off of.
right.
And they always wanted him to play him. So obviously he aged out. Because I don't know when he got so old, but Jesus.
Yeah.
Um, it was, but I thought that was a tragic storyline, but it was great to see Huey continue to grow, and there's no reason for Huey to continue to have arcs, and they've already given him 2 really good story arcs this season between his A-Train stuff and his dad, and now we're going to see what happens with him and Starlight as we go through the rest of the season, especially with the fallout from what Firecracker revealed in her
Yeah,
expose.
that was a nice little twist.
Um, I thought this last one was a nice episode with getting to just see the
Nice episode, he says.
well, just getting to kind of pull most of the crew out together and just have them all do the farm thing and like making it through the farm of death and mutated farm animals, which is hilarious.
Stan's line was, "I don't know how you guys have lived this long," was great.
Yeah, it's like
Uh,
yeah. And
the
then bringing
whole
Giancarlo Esposito back, seeing him and Newman play off each other, and Newman get to play off the boys was great.
yeah, no, it was it at f I actually had to pause that episode in the first, like, 15 minutes, and I was like, "Oh, it's gonna be an episode," and then I, like, went back to watch it, I was like, "Oh, holy shit."
It's great, yeah.
It really was, and we were right about the lobotomy with, Sister Sister Sledge, whatever.
Sage,
Yeah, same thing.
nope,
Um,
nope.
we were right about that. I'm glad they explained that right away and didn't kinda drag that out through the whole season.
Yeah, because otherwise everybody would just be looking at what is this weird thing. But having the deep do it for her was super weird. I was like, so she doesn't want to do it herself anymore?
I
Is that
actually that was one of the few times I've actually turned away from the TV. I couldn't watch that, like, eyeball stuff, and I have this really weird aversion now to the sound of liquid being poured into a glass because you hear it in so many things, and sometimes it's so pronounced. That's how they fill their time with their hands when they're acting, is they pour something in a glass to drink, and that sound bothers me now.
oh, it's
It's
not your
really
ARSM
weird.
thing, huh?
Yeah, it's a really weird thing.
What did you think about our priest and Butcher going at it in the fight, and then all of a sudden the priest is no more, and now Starlight's being pinned with his murder?
Yeah, I wanna know what the hell happened to him?
Well, I think that based on the rabbit, and they dug in on the rabbit, right, that had the same power as Butcher and seemed to have gotten. And then had the worm thing growing out of him. That seems to be what's rolling around in Butcher.
Ugh, that's a shame.
So, but that also kind of looks like the thing growing in Zoe.
Yeah,
So I
like, the
wonder if
whole
there's
thing
going to
that
be
she
these
is.
weird tie back to the new batch of V that they're injecting people with, right?
Yeah.
Is that or the temp
Possibly.
V or whatever it is? I don't know which version the daughter got, but like, is there some weird thing that they built in? I don't know.
I don't know. the flying sheep was kind of crazy.
Yeah,
Just
those
all
were
the animals were crazy. When the bull came out on the road, I was like, "Oh Jesus."
yeah, that was wild. The whole thing was, but like honestly, like Newman could have gotten rid of all of them, knowing how powerful she is and her power set.
Yep.
From Gen V, we did get the little Gen V tease.
I like the cameo from the girl that can control your mind, right?
Yep.
And the little baby Homelander.
Yeah, which it and we're starting to see Ryan take the turn too, and
Yeah,
evolve.
that was kind of crazy. There's some really weird shit that goes on in that show, man.
Yeah, they don't have boundaries.
No, we
They're-
could have a whole episode on the weird shit that went on that show.
yeah, how wild can we get? Let's do it.
Um, they did say that the Eric Kripke did say that they're not going to do the Black Noir twist that's in the comic book.
Well, they can't. They already showed us Black Noir's face.
Right. And I know next season they got another Supernatural cast member, Jared Padalecki's in for the last season.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah,
He's fine.
Um,
That's because Walker got canceled, and Eric's like, "Yeah, I'll hook you up, buddy." That's all that is.
pretty much. All right, Sunday night show. Quickly has become again one of my favorite shows.
Dude, I get this is exactly what I was saying, right? Like, if the writing's good, even like weird and not great acting, which there's plenty of on that show, is completely made up for by the fact that you have good writing and a compelling story. That's what it takes to make these things work.
Yep.
Both of these shows are prime examples of that. We'll see if the third show that we're going to talk about is a prime example of just having good writing. Go. We have 2 episodes, so a lot of stuff.
Yeah, so much happened.
Yeah, they cram a lot into those hours. Those are like
they
full
really
hours.
do. And it's not just action. There's a lot of dialogue. Like that's not a show that you can just put on and like kind of do something else. You got to pay attention to that show.
No,
there's so much that goes on. I don't even I got to start taking notes during the show so that I can remember stuff.
Yeah, episode 3 was a little slow.
It was.
By comparison, episode 4 had so much stuff going on, but episode 3 was a little bit slow. You had the fallout. Wasn't that when the fallout was with all the rat catchers?
The rat catchers got hung.
And you get the new hand, right? So the hand steps down. You get to see what's going on with
he didn't step
Kristen
down.
Cole.
He didn't step down. The king fired his ass.
He threw some stuff.
Yeah, but the king fired his ass.
Yeah.
Fired his grandfather.
Yeah, Aegon's not smart. I think we established.
No, he's not. Now, the other one, Aemond, is very smart.
Yeah. He might work out a little bit too, that actor.
We had, thank you, Matt. We had the brothers duel. So the one brother snuck into Dragonstone, and
Eric
was going to murder the queen in exile or wherever she is. So his brother stepped up, but the only reason that they were alerted was because the chick that they were getting the chick that told.
Yep. The one that used to be Damon's.
The one that was Damon's. They were sending her away, and she saw the other night come up and knew that the brother was already back at Dragon's Keep,
right?
And went and told someone, and they finally listened to her, and the brother showed up. The brothers dueled. The one brother killed the bad brother, I guess you could say.
Yes. And then himself, based on the fact that he just killed his brother.
Yeah. That was terribly sad to see.
So, but that shows us, like, the one question I had with the writing that I'm not a huge fan of is how Kristen Cole was the one that he picked as his hand. That seemed odd.
It was a little odd though.
Because he's let the Lord Commanders, whatever that army or the troops are called, Lord Commander, whatever
City Guard.
Yeah, like they seem to have kind of like just gone to shit. Like they're not. There's no leadership. They're just kind of all over the place.
They are now that he
Especially
became
when we get
man. Yeah.
well, even when we get in episode 3, it looks like it's been that way for, like, a while, where he
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, well, you're chaste," and they're like,
Right. Right. Um, he is the most unlikable character on that show right now. It's so bad that he had to actually disable the comments on his Instagram. The actor, his name's Fabian, and that's Matt Smith's like best friend. Like they're like best friends
"Oh,
outside of
no
the show.
kidding."
Yeah. So I've seen a couple Vanity Fair interviews with them where they're like guessing each other's things and like they're really, really good friends. He had to disable his comments because so many people were like giving him crap about what his character did because as Star Wars fans know, uh, that is how you handle problems with characters on screen is you go and you just berate the actors or actresses.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, it's wild. But, yeah, I agree. That's where and I think I would project it when Kristen Cole dies in the next 2 episodes because I can't see him making it past that.
so I don't know how they're going to do it in the show. They make some changes from the books.
But
He doesn't. Well, obviously, none of these people survive because they all end up dying because it's
yeah.
hundreds of years ago. But he, in particular, because I read ahead, I Googled because I wanted to see what happened to him. So I looked at the Game of Thrones wikis and stuff. So I know where he dies, and I know based on the books what happens to him. Depends on how long they drag out this season, whether or not he's going to die this season or not.
Got it.
I mean, they had no problem killing Sean Bean off after 6 episodes too. So
Well, we have another season or 2, maybe.
Yeah,
But,
probably.
I mean, I see him being a hand for a little while and Laris taking over. The new Master of Whispers.
Possibly.
I would see him being the next hand.
Possibly. It's not going to be Lizard Man. He's out. Dr. Connors is out.
Yeah,
now.
or could be Aemon, which would be a very dangerous person to put in place. Unless Aegon doesn't make it much longer than Joffrey did.
Well, I don't remember how far the lineage goes with that. I know that in the 4th episode, the episode that aired
That was
last night.
the 3rd, actually, was last night. It feels like the 4th.
Oh my god, it does feel like the 4th. So in
Third.
the 3rd episode, Rhaenys, right? Am I getting that one right?
I don't know.
The older lady?
Rhaenys.
Rhaenys. Okay, I was close. Rhaenys.
Rhaenyra.
Rhaenyra tried to get Rhaenyra
Yep.
to pursue peace instead of just having dragons go and attack.
Correct.
So that was the backbone of that episode. Her small council was pushing her and pushing her and pushing her. Go to war, go to war, go to war. Send your dragons. Daemon went to Harrenhal to secure Harrenhal for them.
Which apparently hot mess.
Harrenhal's been a hot mess since Baelorun seared it all up.
Yeah, which I forgot that we melted.
Yep, melted
all of
them. Now that whole little thing there, and there was a nice, great little cameo last night. Little Millie Alcock.
It was great. Yeah, not great. The Daemon's starting to hallucinate, but
no, but that's the curse. That's the curse of Harrenhal, and that woman that when he woke up outside the Godswood, that woman is a witch, and she told him he's going to die there. And I believe in the books he does die there at some point.
Yeah,
but he fights someone there that should be coming up down the road.
Got it.
So Rhaenyra goes to King's Landing to meet with Alicent, dressed up as one of the shame nuns.
Yeah, did you see that reveal actually happening? I didn't expect that reveal to happen during that conversation at all.
Oh, the Song of Fire and Ice reveal?
Yes.
No, I didn't see that happen. I didn't see that coming. I knew they weren't going to make peace because then the show's over. Like they make peace right there.
I knew that. I just didn't expect Rhaenyra to be like, oh, and that's why the war happens. To be like,
Right.
"Oh, so yeah, well, you heard him wrong." And her go,
Right.
"Oh, I did? Okay, cool."
Right. And you could see it in her face that she realized that, oh my God, this is all wrong. But she doubled down
She's like, "We're too far. Suck it up,
and
buttercup. Let's
yep,
go."
let's go. And the other one finally her face just fell like, okay, this is the way it's gonna be. We're gonna fuck shit up now.
Yeah, so I think we get another I would say by the end of this season, if not starting next season, and we get another time jump.
Maybe.
Well, look, there's a lot of dragons not born yet, and there's not dragons in like
So
not too long from now.
so let me tell you this, because I wasn't sure and I kind of had a feeling. 3 of the dragon eggs that she gave her daughter to take to Pentos
Yeah.
are Daenerys eggs.
Oh,
They confirmed that those 3 of those 4 eggs do come forward and are Dany's dragons.
that's interesting.
That's neat because they're hundreds of years away still.
No, they're not.
They're not hundreds?
No,
100,
like
200, maybe 100,
at this point, maybe 150.
couple hundo?
Like 150, but that's not long for a dragon. Even though in
It's
the
not.
Game of Thrones show, the dragons grew up in like a month.
It's not. Well, it's true. Well, yeah. So the episode 3 director confirmed the dragon eggs seen in the episode are Dany's dragons.
Yeah, but you also have 3 other baby dragons. So maybe we don't get another time jump in this show. But
I
they
don't
did
know.
also announce that the new Game of Thrones series is coming out. There was a preview dropped of it,
Yep.
or teaser dropped of it. That one's only 100 years before.
Right.
So it is after this,
But
and
before that.
but before Game of Thrones. This show happens 180 years before Daenerys is born.
Okay.
So
Fair.
it's about 200
Fair
years
enough.
before Game of Thrones starts.
So
But we've already jumped
right.
like 20 some odd years.
Yep.
Right. So we're already
So we're close to 130, 140.
150-ish right now, I think, before Game of Thrones. Give or take a little bit.
But there
Yeah.
haven't been dragons seen in the millennium. Wait, that's Sith, my bad. Wrong show.
Yeah. Speaking of that, look at that segue.
And it overall, this was a very powerful episode.
Yeah, it set the stage. I'm stoked for dragons to
It totally set the stage.
do
And
their
to
thing.
round out everything, we had 2 episodes of the Acolyte that we missed, correct?
Yeah, it was basically one episode worth
We
of
missed
the Acolyte.
day and we missed night.
Yeah.
So before we talk about that, through third-party data, despite review bombing, it ranks second in streaming and engagement among Star Wars Disney Plus shows, outperforming 90% of the top 100 TV shows. Now, I'm going to take that with a grain of salt to say that of the 90% of those people that are watching it right now, 60% are hate watching it to see what happens. Like us.
I don't disagree with that.
But now, I'll go on the Acolyte Reddit just to read. I don't engage in Reddit stuff at all because it's just a cesspool. And there are so many positive, whether they're fake or not, so many positive comments to this show. I thought the episode titled Day was a 30-minute pointless waste of my time, except for the final 3 minutes.
100%. I remember texting you. I said, I don't know how they made so little last so long, or how they made so short of an episode feel like it was so long while nothing still happened.
So much foreshadowing.
Yeah.
And then we get to the episode night. Now, I remember I said that my prediction of who I thought the person in the mask was. I thought it was either their mother or the Dathomir-like witch, right?
Yep.
I was wrong.
Yes.
It was Camille.
Manny Jacinto
It was the guy with
from The Good Place,
with
who played
Maya.
the dumb funny guy on The Good Place. He's trying to rebrand himself.
In that 28-minute episode, there was about 3 minutes of really good action.
There was like 15 minutes of action, though.
Was it that long? Am I dumbing it down?
No, you said really good. I'm not arguing. There was about 3 minutes of
Okay.
really good action. There was about
Okay.
15 of action, though.
The lightsaber stuff was that's what I want in a Star Wars show. I want lightsaber fights like that. I like the fact that they pulled in the cortosis on his gauntlet and his helmet from Legends
Yep.
to short out the lightsabers. I thought that was great. I didn't know what it was at first. I did have to look that up. I thought that was great.
hmm
The fact that this guy killed 8 Jedi in a minute and a half, 2 minutes, awesome.
Yeah, but somehow didn't kill Soul, which doesn't make any sense to me.
That's because Soul is the worst Jedi ever. Let me repeat that. Worst Jedi ever.
Yes, agreed for so many reasons. So couple points with him.
Go ahead.
One, like he kept like not even using his lightsaber for some reason when he was fighting this dude.
Well, I was okay with that.
Doesn't know how to sense the difference between people, which I thought was like a native Jedi thing.
Get to that in a minute.
And two, left like a dozen dead Jedi just laying around this planet, which is not what I've ever seen people do with Jedi when they die, but apparently Soul thinks it's fine.
Well, that's because in that time there's just extra Jedi all over the place. See, in the movies that we come to watch, there's not extra Jedi.
Yeah, I need some better some flashbacks or something showing me this Wookiee doing something though, because I am so pissed.
Dude. Okay.
That we got nothing. Like they couldn't spend the extra couple grand to get the Wookiee to do some lightsaber stuff.
And it was the guy that played Chewbacca in the costume.
Yeah.
Junis. The choreography and the lightsaber stuff was great. Stabbing the Jedi and then pulling the other Jedi with the Force into the lightsaber.
That was awesome.
Phenomenal. Badass move.
The triple puncture for Daphne at the end.
Heartbreaking.
When he split his. Yeah.
I wanted her to survive, but oh my God. Snapping Yord's neck, I clapped.
Yeah, that guy was
I clapped.
douche.
I was fine with that. It was overall, it was some really great choreographed fighting, and it really was. And
well, don't worry, because next episode is just going to be flashbacks and storytelling.
So
it'll be Soul story time. Will be the next episode.
And then, girl leans forward and just perfectly cuts her hair with the lightsaber, just the way her sister's is.
It's the stupidest thing ever.
Perfectly cut.
Yeah.
Switches clothes, and nobody knows. And granted, it's only Saul. No idea. He's the mind reading guy, right?
Yeah. Supposedly.
There better be a really, really good explanation for
he might be setting it all up, right? He might know and be like, I knew this was the way to get you back to the ship, but then he's also a horrible Jedi because he just left Osha with Kimmer or whatever his name is.
So, again, stuff that I've read online, the person that created the show said that we're not going to find out any more about the Sith because the show's about Osha. It's not about the Sith. So you just drop this awesome, amazing thing in our laps and then go, yeah, we're not going to bother with this.
Well, or is he a Knights of Ren?
Well, that was the other
And
thing.
not a
Is
Sith.
that could be the start of the Knights of Ren. He could be one of the founders of the Knights of Ren. That would be awesome. That would be a cool tie-in. And Matt makes another good point. He doesn't need to read her mind. She has that big ass tattoo on her forehead.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, so and R.I.P. to the little droid.
No, didn't we pick him back up?
No, I thought he died.
No, the Basil picked him up.
Remember, that's right. He did.
That's how he went and found May, or he. That's how he knew it wasn't May, or it wasn't Osha. Is because that's how I thought they were going to figure it out, or that's how I think they'll figure it out because Soul's an idiot. Did you know that he learned to speak English to play this role?
I did. Now the actor I like. I like the actor.
Yeah.
I like the people that are portraying these roles. But I don't like the acting, the dialogue that they're being given.
Yeah, it's the writing's bad.
It's horrible writing. And they're talking about now maybe a season 2.
Oh, God damn it.
Well, now that you have so much interest in this dark Jedi type character, Sith-ish
Yeah.
character. I mean, he said he wasn't. Well, he said he was Sith, but
No,
he
he
said
didn't. He said you would call me Sith.
you would call him Sith, but he just wants to use the Force the way he wants to use the Force.
Yeah, so maybe that's why we get that there isn't a Sith.
And these damn Jedis constantly getting in the way.
Yeah, so I don't know where you go for the rest of the
We have what,
season.
2
You know what
left?
I mean? Like, no, is there only 7 episodes?
3? It's 8 episodes, right? Is what they've been doing. This will be
Uh,
episode 6.
I feel like there's
5?
9 episodes of this show.
Oh, I hope not.
I'll race you. You're gonna win. There's 8 episodes. So
8
there's
episodes.
3 left.
3 left. All right, so we have a definite flashback episode because you're not getting these.
Yep.
You're getting have all these characters. I don't want Osha to become a Jedi. No,
She's actually her last name is Windu. Haha.
I hate you. I hate you. But doesn't Saul have to die because nobody's supposed to know about this guy? So like all the Jedi that went,
Either they all die.
or they cover it up.
Yeah, and I would pay. You owe me $100 if their last name ends up being Windu.
I quit. I quit the show. You and Matt can do the next episode. Matt can take my place if her last name ends up being Windu. Matt can.
That
And
would
the
totally
very
be a
last,
Star Wars thing to do.
very last thing I have, I saw this rumor. You're gonna fucking love this. There's a rumor going around. It's unconfirmed, so it's just a rumor that the title of Rey's Star Wars movie is being changed. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Episode 10, A New Beginning.
God damn it.
But she's only signed on for one movie. Now this is from one of those TikTok show, like they're rumors and they're talking to this guy and this is the rumor. So this is a completely unconfirmed thing.
I mean, I don't hate it if they do, but then like it's continuing the storyline.
It is, but
But then Rogue One should be episode 0. But it's not. It's
not.
episode 3.5.
Right. Jesus Christ.
Like they screwed that all up there.
Exactly.
But
There's the alarm.
yeah. So all right. I think we are at time either way, besides that alarm.
A big time.
But thanks for finding the Geek Spot with us. Appreciate everybody that joined the conversation. Make sure you tell a friend, have them check us out. We'll be back next week at 7:00 Eastern on the YouTubes and the Facebooks.
Are we on Google anywhere?
I don't think so.
For the podcast part? Where do we keep?
No, you don't listen through YouTube Music. You will never find it because YouTube Music sucks for podcasts. But you can find the podcast on Apple Podcasts and YouTube Music and Spotify and all those places that you get your podcasts. So drop us a rating there, tell a friend, all those good things. And you can check me out at jackkidmusic.com. I'll be in Philly at Con Murphy's Friday this week, Dockside, and Ben Salem Saturday night. Then
I have nothing of importance on social media right now. So
some other stuff coming up soon. So check out the whole schedule there. Frank will be finishing up the Acolyte so we can start watching Doctor Who. And and we'll see you all next week. Thanks.
See ya. I didn't do that.